Yeah, well, how's going, everybody? We're here, we got BubbaGump from Portland. Proud of you, boy. You're coming in to tell us about the fucking shithole that has turned into Portland City.
Yes, sir. Yep, I'm here to give you a first-hand view of what's happening in this city.
Yeah, and they're like, so Portland. I was reading today. They were like, the mayor, fucking Ted Wheeler or whatever his name is. He's like now telling the fucking cops he's banned the fucking pepper spray.
Yeah.
Apparently he got a bit of taste of the pepper spray when he went down because he's been going down to the protests and shit.
Absolutely, yeah. I've seen it and heard it, and he did. I think maybe he participated one time, and it's when the feds were still guarding the federal courthouse. He went down there. He got on a platform, said a few things, and then he stood with the rioters and ended up getting pepper sprayed by federal police. But I think he definitely. It was definitely staged. He wanted to be there. He wanted to get pepper sprayed. It was just a photo opportunity, as far as I'm concerned. He's just a dirtbag. He's a leftist garbage dirtbag.
He'll fucking capitulate. It seems like he'll capitulate to anything these people want. Like, he's fucking two-faced as fuck. Like, I was looking at an article just a minute ago, and he's like, oh, I don't want there to be pepper spray, but he's like, I'm happy for the police to use force and arrest people, and they should go to court and they should get charged, all this shit. And I just think, like, fuck off, mate. Like, he's just a fucking bullshit artist.
Yeah, and it's not just him. It's our district attorney here in Portland, Oregon. The district attorney is not holding rioters responsible. If they get arrested, they are being released with no complaint. If they have anything to do with the riots, and that's our district attorney in Portland. Can you believe that? Our district attorney is letting rioters who destroy private property back out on the street, no charge.
So, like, I think, fuck, you look what happened to the New York Proud Boys, and like they got in a punch on. It was a victimless crime. No one was injured. The Antifa people didn't even rock up to the court case. They pretty much said "fuck you" to the cops.
Yeah,
didn't want anything to do with it. And then they get charged. Was it 2 years jails? Crazy. And here we have fucking Antifa losers throwing fucking Molotov cocktails and all this stuff at cops. Like, it's out of control.
It is
get a slap on the wrist.
It is completely out of control, and it's like I said, I've been on the front lines in downtown Portland for the last 100 days. It's been going on, some sort of riot somewhere in Portland, and there's a dark cloud over our city, and it's just I've never seen anything like it, and our chapter here, our Proud Boy chapter here in Portland. Our leadership asked us to stand down, to not react to any of it, and that went on for about a month or two. And then a few weekends ago, that all went away. We were able to go to an event and get some Antifa, and the police absolutely did not get involved. So we had a couple hours to kick some ass, and that's what happened. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, sick. So was this the flag, the Trump caravan with the fucking all the trucks? Is that the event, or
no? It was an event about a week before that. It was a Back to Blue. It was a Back to Blue is a Back to Police, and it was at the Justice Center. And we showed up probably about 60 strong. There were other chapters involved, and like I said, the police did not get involved, and we stood off for at least 2 hours. I mean, there was bear spray. It was a melee of violence, and I could not believe that the police absolutely did not get involved. They had a loudspeaker and they said, "Please don't do illegal things," but that was it. And so, if we would have known, we would have had so much leeway. We would have been more prepared and done more damage to them. But
fuck yeah. So and I seen sometimes I'm seeing paintball guns getting carried by fucking Patriots. I think I've even seen Antifa people with paintball guns.
Well, the paintballs are actually pepper balls.
All right.
Pepper balls at people, just like the police have. So yeah.
So you guys have pepper balls, like you guys have got pepper balls in your fucking paintball guns.
There are guys that have them. Yes, absolutely.
Fuck yeah, that's fucking
badass.
sick.
Pretty fucking badass. Yep.
Yeah, and I guess it's like, yeah, I mean, we've seen the guy from Patriot Prayer, Jay, got shot down there by that fucking demonic fucking communist scum, Antifa, and like so. I mean, the boys, it seems that the Proud Boys, we always seem to roll together in a tight group where no one's getting left behind.
That's right.
No one's out on the, no one's getting left out there. And that Jay fella, he seems to have been found in a bad situation with the wrong place, wrong time. That guy was just a scum fucking murderer.
He stalked Jay, you know, and I've watched a lot of the footage, and I'm super convinced by what I've seen that he stalked Jay. He was trying to make a political point. I think he was trying to light the fuse of this civil war that we're about to be a part of, and he murdered that kid. And check this out: that guy he wasn't a Proud Boy. He was part of Patriot Prayer. You know, he was a business owner in Portland, so he kept his associations really low key. You know what I mean? He was an all around good guy. And he was even lightly conservative. You know what I mean? He wasn't even like a hardcore right wing guy. You know what I mean? And the mainstream media tried to portray him as a fucking Nazi. Oh, excuse my language, but as a Nazi basically. And
well, I mean, this is the crazy thing. Like, I know left wing people, right? Yeah, I know Antifa guys. I talk to them.
Yeah,
they say Joe Biden is a Nazi. So the Antifa people think Joe Biden's a Nazi.
Right? They're not.
They just fuck. So this is how stupid it's got. Like, anyone who's not a left wing absolute brain dead retard. Like, if you're not a full blown communist, you're a Nazi to these people. They think Joe Biden is a Nazi.
Yeah, they moved the goalposts on what the word Nazi means or what the word racist means, and it's sick. And you know, like you just said, these leftists, these Antifa, they don't care about Joe Biden, and they don't care. They certainly want Trump to lose. You know what I mean? They want to, you know what they want to do? They want a whole new government. You know what I mean? And it's just. It's sick, and I don't know, man. It's just I've never seen anything like it, and it's just dark, you know.
It seems to me like that what these Antifa, like left wing radicals want, it's like worse than communism. Like the communists, if you went to like Soviet Union or I don't know. I mean, the thing is, I don't know if we really have any real communism on the earth. Like, China's the most capitalist fucking nation on earth. They're just like a single party dictatorship. Essentially, they're a single party dictatorship, super capitalistic nation. But, you know, North Korea is just a shithole dictatorship. Cuba, I don't know, just a shithole. But, you know, what these lefties want, it is just some fucking weird. It's like a social Darwinist.
Yeah, it's
they're trying to super engineer people's thoughts and language and everything, like down to like fucking super paranoid control freaks. Like, talking prison planet. Like these people want a fucking prison planet. They want to control every fucking thought, every word, every action of all people.
Absolutely, and young kids are indoctrinated from the time they step into into kindergarten, and you know, the indoctrination goes throughout their entire career in school, you know, middle school, high school, and even into college, especially in the colleges. And if you're a free thinker, if you have the courage and the ability to look outside the box and question things like most of us do, then it'll be plainly clear of what's right, what's wrong. You know what I mean? And like this country, like Bernie Sanders and AOC, they have this idea of socialism, and they put another word in front of it. They go, it's democratic socialism, and it's going to work. Well, it's never worked anywhere, and just because you put the word democratic in front of it doesn't mean it's going to work here. You know what I mean? It's completely out of control. The Green New Deal, give me a fucking break, dude. I mean, come on.
Yeah, it would be fucking worse. Like you see already with the COVID fucking restrictions and all that and the effect that's had on the economy. Well, you're talking worse restrictions on the economy than the most severe fucking COVID lockdowns. Like no planes in the sky. What do they want us all riding on fucking push bikes around or some shit?
Yeah. I mean, I think the upcoming election's coming, and I think the silent majority is going to pull through for Trump. I think he is going to win again with an electoral landslide, and that's going to spark a war. You know what I mean? They're going to go fucking crazy over that. So if he wins, then the city's going to burn.
I heard that Trump is. I don't know if he got it passed or he's talking about it. And it was like, instead of using, I think it's the district attorneys or the local judges, he wants to use like federal courts. Yeah, so anyone who gets.
Yeah. And he's doing it. He's implemented that and it's poured over here into Portland, Oregon. So these guys, these rioters who were let go with, no complaints, no charges. Donald Trump, deputized, some of our state police to be federal police officers, and they are now charging and rearresting a lot of those offenders, and they're being charged in federal court, which is far worse than a state court. So that's happening in Portland, and they are rounding up a lot of guys.
And do you think this is obviously this is how our system works, where the police do the arresting, but the courts is where the punishment happens. And this is it's a double de-incentivization. It's a two-pronged fucking system where this is what stops, I remember being a young fucking 16-year-old and you do dumb shit, you know what I mean? But it's if we smash these windows, if we go and fucking, punch on, carry on, be idiots, I know the cops are going to arrest me. I know I'll go to get locked up. I know I'll go to court. I know I'll get charged. And so there's the de-incentivization of stupid behavior. Absolutely. And this is, I guess it's all we can hope is just people are going to, I think these Antifa people they are cowards. Like the cops, I've read a heap of write-ups where the cops are like, yeah, every time we arrest the Antifa, they crawl in a little fetal position and start crying for their mummies and all this stuff.
Absolutely true. Absolutely
they fucking hate being arrested. They cry like little bitches. So this is going to be the real fucking sting. This is going to be us. I think it should be the change that we need, where these little bitches are finally going to get their days in court and handed the fucking justice that the people want.
Yeah, I know. There's an event on the 26th of September here coming up, and there are Proud Boys coming from all over this country. Our national spokesman is Enrique Tarrio. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
Yeah.
Him and Joe Biggs will be heading to Portland, and they bring a lot of people. A lot of Proud Boys come from all over the country, and they'll be here on the 26th. And I'm hoping and praying that the police don't have the resources or aren't ready for something that size, because a year ago in August they were able to, when last time Enrique came to Portland, they were able to keep us separated from Antifa. I mean, we didn't even get close to them, so there was no ass kicking. You know what I mean? So hopefully, I don't. The mayor says that they're not in a position to have the
defend it properly.
To have the cops respond that way. So I truly am hoping that there's a lot of leeway on the 26th because it's game time, man. I mean, fuck, you gotta fight fire with fire, you know. And it's just,
yeah, I guess it's like, you know, the Proud Boys want to really get in there, and then if they're attacked, they're going to defend themselves. So they're going to stay inside the law, but they're going to go in there and show. The goal is to go in and show people it's like, fuck you, this isn't good enough. The mayor and the state and everyone, they need to fucking pull their heads and let the police do their jobs because the people are sick of it. And I guess it's like if Antifa attacks the Proud Boys are going to defend themselves, but they're going to head in there and do a show of force and say it's not good enough. The fucking it's just a shameful thing. And you look at it and you go, this city is like, these people are a fucking joke. You know what I mean? I'm sure all the cops there would love to fucking lock all these fuckers up and throw them into jail. You know, it's not the cops' fault. The cops have got one arm tied behind the back.
Yeah, you know, I've talked to many cops because, you know, I like I said, I've worked sometimes in the downtown Portland area, and I've had conversations with law enforcement, and the bottom line is you're right, their hands are tied. You know, what can they do? And I mean, you know, the BLM and Antifa, what they're coming out and protesting against or rioting against is the police. You know what I mean? Defund the police. Get the federal police officers out of the federal courthouse. Defund the police. It's police. And that's what they're fighting for or against, you know. And I don't know. The cops' hands are absolutely tied, and they're also tied with even just regular arrests. You know what I mean? They're so under the gun. It's so politicized that a police officer that can make the wrong move. You know what I mean? If he pushes the person of color down on the ground and the person gets hurt or something, that's a national story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so
it's fucking bullshit.
That's what's happening. So they can't even go into areas that are the high drug areas in Portland and make arrests like they used to because you know, their hands are tied.
And what will happen is it will be like a further degeneracy of these areas. Like I've seen statistics that said like they've polled the predominantly African American suburbs or communities, and it's like 84% of the African Americans want increased policing in their local area.
Absolutely.
And then they've got these white fucking communist losers. Young people have no fucking idea. They probably have no black friends, never been in a fucking black neighborhood or a low socioeconomic area. They have no fucking idea.
Absolutely.
Telling the world what the black people want. Well, the black people have said 85% of them said they want increased policing in their fucking areas. And then you'll see, like, if the police get defunded in these areas, like scumbags. You know, I think statistically it's only like a 5% of all racial demographics will have like a 5% low IQ population, and they are doing like 85% of crime. Do you know what I mean? It's always the low, scummy people who are whatever, had a bad education, bad upbringing, and then they fucking end up being scum, but they don't give a fuck. Like they're not gonna the scum are gonna keep doing scummy things until they have a personal like revelation and pull their head in.
And that does happen. So there are a few that make it out, you know.
Yeah. Thanks. So what? He just hosted me on D Live. Thanks, brother. Cheers, mate. Bro, I come out. I lived in a low socioeconomic upbringing, and like all my mates were all fucking white bogan kids in single parent homes, and we were scum. Where is he? Bubba's gone. I'm sure he'll be back. I'm sure he'll be back. I'm pretty sure that live link should still be active. Bang. He'll be back. Don't worry. I'll just send him another live link because we got BubbaGump. He lives in Portland, so he's here he is. He's back.
Yep. Please forgive me. I have no idea what happened.
All good.
I apologize.
Good, mate. Yeah. So like yeah, I mean, this stupid thing, I was looking at an article before and they were saying that it was, yeah, Portland is the whitest city in America. It's like 500,000 people and there's like fucking no black people. They're saying, yeah, city of 500,000 people, and they're saying, oh, there's more Black Lives Matter signs than there is fucking black people in the city.
It's true, yeah. You know, and
they have to bring the black people in to fucking virtue signal that bullshit.
And I've seen actual Black Lives Matter activists become very, very irritated with the direction that Antifa wants to move their movement. You know, because they've kind of intertwined. You know what I mean? And I have seen the backlash and the dispute between Black Lives Matter activists and Antifa, and it's exactly what you're saying.
Yeah,
who's speaking for the African American community when they're protesting for Black Lives Matter in downtown Portland? It's
because fucking Antifa. It's like the Antifa and the Democrat move is like they want people to either be a guilt complex or a victim mentality, because that's when the Democrats can control our vote. And it's just, hey, if we can get in there and brainwash them with, the Karl Marx fucking conflict theory. Yeah, they're brainwashed with conflict theory, and everything's a class struggle, black, white, man, woman, gay, straight, blah, blah, blah. You know, or it's the fucking, I think they call it the Frankfurt Institute, the critical theory. So they all have these
critical
theories, you know, and they literally get, what it does is just putting their brain, it's tuning their brain into either a victim or they're a guilt complex.
Right.
You know, the white people are like, oh, fuck, I'm guilty. Oh. Or the black dude's like, they think they're being held back.
Yeah.
You know, by the imaginary boogeyman.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kev, for the super chat. Kev reckons, Dusty, the new government system is called neo-feudalism. Probably.
That's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it will be like neo-feudalism when we get to the point where you can't buy a property, or you can't, you know, if you couldn't. At the moment, I feel like people can still buy their own. You can still get something. I always suggest to people, like, if you can't afford to buy a house in your city and it's too expensive near your work, you know, you can always buy a property out of town and rent it out. You know what I mean? So you still get your foot in the property market, like, because if you don't have any buy-in to the system, that's when people do feel disenfranchised.
Absolutely, you're absolutely right. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Yep.
People need to be able to have the buy-in. Do you feel like? So I kind of feel like, I know in the Proud Boys fraternity we have African Americans, Latinos, all that.
LGBT.
And I mean, yeah, we got all these guys, and you know, and I consider I'm more of a conservative Christian, so like I'm in a club that actually is, you know, we actually have we have diversity of, you know, there's gays, there's atheists, there's black, there's Latino, there's Jews, there's European, there's whatever, and a conservative Christian like myself, and it's like we're all here, we're all brothers, we have something in common, we have the values of the club, we have our the tenets, we have our constitution, we have our degrees, and we all agree these are good values, something that it brings us together, and we can all agree. And I sit there with an atheist or a gay guy, and I go, you know what? I probably wouldn't be hanging out with atheists. I probably wouldn't be hanging out with gay guys. But the fraternity has brought us all together, and I got atheists and gay dudes in my chapter or whatever, and it's all good.
Yeah,
and we have the common values, and I think the common value of all the guys in the club, it's like we're optimistic, and we're optimistic of the future that we can create. Like our thing is, we say, I'm a proud Western chauvinist. I won't apologize for the creation of the modern world or creating the modern world, because like we actually want to create our lives and our futures and our family, and none of us are going to become victims or guilt complex driven. We're like, nah, we're on a mission in our lives to have fucking good lives, to be patriotic, have good families.
Absolutely.
And that's it. Like whether we're fucking black or white or whatever, we're not going to be guilt complex driven. We're not going to be victimhood driven. We're going to be eyes on the prize, best foot forward. We're fucking believing in our future, in our nations, and we're moving forward.
Well said, Dusty. That was all absolutely well said, and I couldn't say it better myself. What I will say about the Proud Boys and the diversity within the fraternity is this: I have never, ever, ever in the entire time that I've been a Proud Boy, at a Proud Boy meeting or anything, I have never ever heard any hate at all in any direction. It's just not there, and the mainstream media will tell you something different. You know what I mean? Like you said, we have the diversities in our chapter here in Portland, Oregon. There are people of color, and it's not just one guy. There's several, and like I said, there's people that are part of the LGBTQ community as well, who happen to be Mexican at the same time. So that's super, super diverse. And it's just, if I wonder what would happen if one of these leftists or one of these, one of these reporters were a fly on the wall when we were at a bar or we're all together, and they saw the true nature of what the fraternity is about. It's all a lie. The mainstream media narrative is all a lie. I have never ever heard hate or racism pushed at all. And you know what? If it did happen, it would be handled. You know what I mean? It's just unacceptable. We don't do that at all.
Yeah.
And it's been a wonderful experience. Like I said, traditional American family values, the nuclear family. A wife, stay married, have kids. You got to have a 2-parent household, and that's super important. And the Proud Boys in that fraternity, they all.
That's right. And like, see, the Proud Boys only discriminate according to our value structure.
Absolutely.
We do, like, we discriminate according to the value structure, or we won't capitulate. This is what it is.
Right. Absolutely.
The club, the values, the structure, the Constitution, it's all there.
Yes.
And we're not going to capitulate. It doesn't matter if fucking, if the guy's gay or the guy's black or Jewish or Muslim or whatever the fuck they are, and they come along and they go, I want to be in this club. These are my values. I believe in these values. I want to be in the fraternity. And they're willing to go through vetting. They're willing to participate in the club. We will say, welcome, brother. Welcome.
Absolutely.
You're in.
Open arms, and it's it seems like there is no I don't know, man. Our chapter, all the Proud Boys that I know, the one thing they all have in common is they're patriots. They love the Western world. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. They love their country. They love our country.
Yeah.
And, they're all good guys, man. Every single one of them. Everybody in my chapter, especially here in Portland, they all have unique value, and they're all wonderful, good people, and everybody supports each other.
And I feel like it must just be this. I feel like the right-wing people, Proud Boys, like there's like this, the element of the mentality or the spirit of it behind it. There is an optimism, like there's an optimism in yourself and the nation and what we're about. Because when I look over at the left, they're all blaming. It's blame the man, blame, it's man versus woman, it's gay versus straight, it's black versus white, it's all these fucking groups, and everyone's blaming everyone else. Everyone's someone else is to blame. There's no like personal responsibility. I'm gonna fucking you know, I am what I am. I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to, you know, make myself attractive. I'm going to be a nice person. I'm going to go out and do the job, be consistent, you know, have a fucking crack at this life. It's always an excuse. And whatever they're fucking doing, they're like building up an excuse mentality. And all it's going to do, what they're going to do is spiral down into this fucking loser mentality where they're going to become, they are loser people. Like,
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
honestly need help. They need to see something like what we have in a community of people who are going to fucking be like, you can fucking do it. Believe in it. Maybe they're fatherless children or something like that. You know?
Hey, that's a huge factor. You know what I mean? As no father in the household, we both know about that. We talked about those statistics, but you know that's a big factor. I think, you know. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know, the other thing is they all encourage each other. They all encourage each other. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like the victim stance, it's fucking crazy. I can't even explain it. And they're everywhere. They're fucking everywhere, dude. You know?
Yeah.
And
You want to happen? Like, I can't imagine, like, I think of it simplistically in life. Like, you imagine these punk kids dressed in Antifa, all in black. So none of them are skateboarders. They don't skate. Are they skateboarders? Some of them must skate, because if you're a skater and you go to fucking ollie down a fucking set of 5 stairs, and how many times you're gonna fucking stack it before you keep having to go, and then you finally land the trick, and you're like, yes, and you get it on camera, and you're like, you reap the reward for your hard work. And the thing is, like, how could some kid who has to have played a video game, has to have played some sports, has to be a skater, maybe they learned to play an instrument. And the thing is, this is the reality of life. You put in, you get out what you put in. They have to fucking, that is reality in life. They can't be little bitch mentality where they're like, oh.
Right. Getting hugs from I guess their elders, their professors, their teachers. Here, let's hug it out. I mean, if I don't know, man. It is, and it spills out. It's like it's evil, and it spills out into the community, man. You know, I think that there's a silent majority in this country, that is gonna keep our president in the White House, and you know, like it just seems more blown out of proportion in these Democratic controlled cities like L.A., Portland, Oregon, you know, New York City. They're all super lefty Democratic places, and they've all turned to shit. I mean,
apparently there's like a mass migration of people. Like, apparently New York City is seeing like 50,000 people move out every week or something, or every month.
True.
And it's been like, since I think it's this year, 500,000 people have moved out of New York. Like, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean,
like, it's going to be an economic, just that on its own is going to, they'll feel the economic fucking burden on house prices and empty fucking shop fronts and empty fucking apartment buildings, and people are leaving, man. People have had enough. And I'll tell you what, they're not only just leaving these shithole cities, they're leaving the Democratic Party.
In droves, they're leaving the Democratic Party.
Yeah,
absolutely. I mean,
and like gun sales are up. Like they said, have you been watching Tim Pool at all? Like that dude he was a lefty, and he's like, I will never own a gun. I will never vote.
I remember.
And like, didn't Crowder like give him his first gun or something? He's like,
Walther, yeah.
Give him a gun. So it's like, this is Americana. I think like I really think these fucking idiots, man, they're shooting themselves in the foot. We give them enough rope and they're hanging themselves, these stupid lefties. Like,
yeah,
the retards.
They are absolute retards. You're absolutely right. But yeah, Tim Pool's my guy. I love he's my news source, and I have watched over the years. I've watched his ideology sway. You know what I mean? And Yeah, he's a gun owner now, and I do remember when he was absolutely anti-gun. I'll never have a gun; it's not necessary. I can call the police, da da da. But you know, with the climate out there, it's crazy. You should see even downtown Portland, Oregon. 10 years ago, you absolutely couldn't pitch your tent on a city street. Now, there are tents, and the homeless population is just ridiculous. It's all over downtown Portland. They actually have tents set up, tent cities all along the streets, and there's city ordinance that Wheeler put in place where the cops cannot make them move. You know what I mean? Under any circumstances, unless it's a hazmat situation. So it's just.
Didn't they pass some law and it was like they've declared it to be like property, so they've got around it. Now they're saying like, well, their tent is actually that person's property and they can't fuck around with that property or something. So there's some loophole. Yeah, there's some loophole that they've created, and now since they passed that crap law, it's just gone. There's people fucking living on the streets. There's people shitting on the streets.
That's the big issue.
Someone posted a video the other day in my Telegram, and it was just like some fucking homeless dude just hanging a log on the side of the road, and then the guy's filming it, watching the dude take a shit, and then the cops drive past, and just like, what a fucking dump! Like who would want to live in that fucking town?
And that's the huge issue is the feces and the urine, man. That's the most. It's a huge issue. It's a hazmat issue. You know what I mean? If they're peeing in bottles,
they're not public toilets. Right, there's no public toilets in it.
No, not really. Pouring it in the tree along the side of the road. Pouring it down the drain. I mean, they have to dispose of their shit somewhere, and I'm telling you, that's what creates just the filth and the funk, and that's what people are running away from.
In Australia, we have like, I noticed this when I was in fucking Europe. When I went on holiday in Europe, there's no public toilets. So I was like in Paris, and I'm like fucking eating food and drinking, and then you're like walking along, you're like, fuck, I need to take a piss. And you're in like this beautiful city, and then you go and you're like, excuse me, ask a restaurant or somewhere, and they'll be like, sorry, there's no public, or you have to walk like 40 minutes to go take a fucking shit. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. Nah.
No.
But the thing is, in Australia, we have public toilets. We actually have like, I don't know, it's like if you go to a shopping mall, you have public restrooms. You know what I mean? Whatever you call it.
They have them here in Portland too. However, I think they're more. It's for looks, because they're always super occupied. People take them over. They're super dirty, and they're not everywhere. You know what I mean? So
yeah. It's just fucked. Yeah. I guess like so. And I noticed when I was in America, I went on holiday there, and when we did like the tour bus in New York, it was like the double decker bus. And
yep.
The guy's like, and then fucking he's telling you, he'll be like, there's Trump Tower, that's where Beyonce lives. There's the fucking New World Order, UN fucking building. But then he goes right near the UN, he's like, oh, there's this big building here. He's like, check that out. He's like, in that building, there's like 5,000 rooms for homeless people. And he's like, yep. And the sad thing is, it's empty. And then someone's like, what? Why is it empty? And he said, well, you can't be drunk, high, intoxicated. You can't have drugs in there. So he's like, the homeless people can go there, but they would prefer to be drug addicts on the street than go to this place and have a place to live. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
So it's like there's help for these people, but these people have to give up the drugs to go get the help.
Yeah, you absolutely do. Yeah, it is available, and it's available everywhere. And that's socialism in a sense, you know what I mean? But that's the only part of socialism that I might agree with, when it comes to addiction and getting folks off the street and stuff. And all those things are available. In Portland, Oregon, they're probably available in Australia too. I don't know. But they're all available. The bottom line is folks that are lost in addiction, they don't give a fuck about that.
And they just get so mentally ill that they're like, they can't get the brain reasoning to be like, I could go I could be living in a place. Yeah. I could be having get my life back together, but then they're like, oh no, I want to smoke crack. Crack's more important to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
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 I got some. I got a diamond from So What. 2 diamonds, thanks, mate. And Boomer Tech just followed me on D Live. Thanks, mate. Legend on AKT just followed on D Live. Thanks heaps, guys. Legends. So make sure you fucking follow if you hit the fucking like and follow if you do.
So join in. You're on D Live now?
Yeah, we're streaming this on D Live. We've got more people watching on D Live.
Cool.
Which is good. I'm pretty sure I'm getting hardcore censorship on my YouTube channel, dude. The other day, what I've been doing, man, right? I was I uploaded a few videos, and I just because I film when I'm filming my shit out, going interviewing cunts. I'll film it on my phone, right? So what I did is I uploaded it to YouTube as unlisted, and then I deleted off my phone for space, right? But it's not public; it's privately listed. Now YouTube has been going through even my unlisted videos, watching them, and they put up a fucking warning and said this video is hate speech. The video had like no title. It didn't say what the video was about, and it was unlisted. It wasn't for public viewing, and they even went through that and they fucking gave me a warning. So like these cunts are like stalking my channel. They are like keeping a sharp eye on this channel. There's probably some cunt at Google sitting there watching this right now.
Oh, definitely, and they're so powerful, man. You know what I mean? It's just insane. The power that they wield, actually, how it's
give me that job. I would love to have the job at Google, just watching like cunts talk shit on YouTube. We'll just sit there with a cart and a piss all day, just be like, I'm loving this. I'll be up there giving them thumbs up, commenting and shit.
I think there's computer programs that do the same thing, I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder. That's where I think, like, I know there's programs that do it, but I swear it must have been a person to go.
Yeah, I agree.
To watch the video in this specific case.
Yeah,
like it must have been a person.
Absolutely.
A person, because I went and rewatched that video. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, where's the hate speech in this video? And like went through, and I think I said in the video, I think I called someone an illegal alien or some shit. So that's where they probably like flagged me for that. Oh, the word police. Thank God, D Live. I've got a bit more of a fucking backup plan here with D Live. Anyway.
Yeah.
Old Roy P boy reckons D Live is life. YouTube sucks balls. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't Nightwave on D Live too?
Yeah, Nightwave.
Mercenary.
Yeah. They're on there too, which is good. Like
that's how
the more the better.
That's how I found you. It was through them.
Yeah. And then so the story is you found me on through fucking Revenge of the Sis or Mersh and Royce. Yep. And then you heard me talking about the Proud Boys, and then you reached out and you were like, yo, Dusty, how the fuck do I join this thing?
Yeah.
And so you came from the other side of the earth, you've come and joined the fraternity through this bogan fucking sitting here talking shit.
Absolutely, man. And it was one of the best choices I ever made, man. Like I said, my life's changed dramatically since I've been a part of the fraternity, man. I can't tell you how much positive energy comes from just being part of this fraternity. I mean, it's just amazing, all these guys hold each other up. They hold each other accountable. None of them will take a knee. Not one of them. You know what I mean? And they're just patriot Americans, and all hardworking, all have jobs, just responsible. It's been wonderful.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's so good, man. And like, I feel to be a part of the culture. Like, I know myself, I can go, if I go down to Sydney or go interstate in Australia, I can hit up the boys and I can be like, I'm coming for a beer, and bang, go have a beer with another chapter. Or we've had guys come from Europe over here on holiday, come from America, and they'll say, bang, come join us for a meet. You know what I mean? And it's like the same culture, it's the same heart, same values everywhere we go.
Yep. Worldwide. Absolutely, you're right. You know,
I think it's like 80 chapters. We're like pushing 100 chapters around the world now. So it's like powerful.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think there's about 80 chapters, and you know, probably more. That was last time I counted. That's probably at the start of the year. So, and I think it's through 2016. So 4 years time to accomplish everything that has been done by this club is like pretty amazing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To be a part of a genuine, proper fraternity, like a real fraternity that's really doing things and standing up. Like we're doing tomorrow, we're doing a fundraiser, our chapter. So we're doing an axe, we're shooting arrows and doing an axe and knife throwing competition.
That's
and we're
awesome.
just gonna, and we're just doing like a $10 buy-in. Like everyone chucks $10 in the pot, and then we go donate the money to. We're gonna do like Back the Blue, and support our local cops with PTSD. So, you know, bang.
So I have a question for you, Dusty.
Yo,
I wonder if the climate is the same, and you know, and both our continents. You know, where in your country, are there protesters that are rioting at all? In Australia, no, it's not going down like that. You know what else I've noticed? Watching your show is I've noticed that you have there's been opposition. There's been actual Antifa guys that are in your chat that are watching your show that actually have communicated with you. You know what I mean? I have never ever in America anywhere seen someone involved with Antifa willing to sit down and have a conversation. You've done that with people. You even had them on your show, and that's amazing. You know what I mean? It's something that's not available here in this country. You know,
I feel like they are the Antifa movement. They don't want that conversation to happen, man, because once we start talking, it will probably become an exodus of Antifa. People are just going to leave Antifa. People will wake up, and if people sit there and see a conversation with fucking these Antifa guys and Proud Boys, and they'll go, holy shit. Because like even the other day, right, we have Antifa Australia, one of the guys in the Telegram chat.
Mm-hmm.
He was fucking mixing his antidepressants and alcohol, drinking, talking shit, and he was getting a bit out of control. And he was, it was in another chat, but we've created another chat with a few Antifa guys, just so we talk a bit of shit. We kind of like actually sling shit on each other and pay out on each other and give each other a hard time, and it's all good. It can be a little bit much for my Dusty Bogan's mates chat, but the thing is, one of the dudes, he got on the piss. He mixed his medication with too much alcohol, and he was going off his head. Now, it was the Proud Boys. You know what the Proud Boys did? The Proud Boys were sending out messages saying, hey, everyone, pray for this guy. He's not in a good place. Can we pray for him? Can you send him a private message and encourage him? This is an Antifa member.
Right, absolutely.
And the thing is the Proud Boys, you know what? Yeah, we don't agree with the politics and we think it's really fucking stupid. But I feel like it just goes to show there's a good heart behind the Proud Boys in the club, because they're like, there's still a person here and we still want to see this guy fucking. We would love to see their eyes open and to be like, you know what? I've been lied to. I've been calling people racist. I've been calling people this and that. And they're wrong. They're wrong. And they need to wake up and, you know, join the fucking truth, man.
It's truth, and you're right. They're absolutely wrong. And I in the beginning, I used to question myself, like, what is there anything right? Is there something in the middle that I'm missing? What is this? And the more and more research that I did, the more and more I knew that it was absolutely wrong, no matter what. And that's, you know, that was a lot of motivation for what I do now, you know.
Yeah. For sure,
I was going to say one thing. So when Jay Danielson was shot and murdered in downtown Portland, after that big, there was a car. There was actually like a car caravan that went through downtown Portland. That night, Jay Danielson was shot dead by an admitted Antifa member, And Black Lives Matter. I don't know if you saw the clip. Black Lives Matter. One of their activists talked about it on the street. They had people around, and they cheered, and it was they cheered for the fact that Jay Danielson had been shot and killed in downtown Portland. The bit said, I don't care about a fascist, getting murdered. We don't care. And everybody clapped. And I promise you, if the tables were turned, the Proud Boys would never, ever clap. They would never celebrate the death of anybody. You know what I mean? And that's just the difference between, our values and theirs. And it was really sad to see, man.
Yeah. And I reckon, that's where, never take the black pill. Never take the black pill. Never drink. We can never drink from the poisoned well. You know what I mean? Them people who are fucking so, they've got so many fucking, these people, they drum it up so bad. They put out this poison, they say Jay was a known white supremacist. That was a lie. It was
total lie. Absolute lie.
And they're like, we don't. I think they said in that chant was we don't care if a fascist dies. While they are being fascist. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Celebrating
the death of someone who, unprovoked death. It was just disgusting.
It was disgusting. That's a good word for it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was disgusting. And I've seen I think I've seen footage of was it Jay's family and friends went and did a memorial. I don't know if it was where Jay got shot. Oh, you were there?
Yeah, I was there. And then one of our pledges actually, we went for beers after the memorial, and we had about 4 pledges because we've gotten a lot of recruits, that have become interested in Proud Boys, especially in our chapter. And so we had recruits and pledges with us. We went to a bar after the memorial, and one of our pledges actually got ran over by an Antifa member. Ran over him in his truck while he was trying to leave the parking lot. And it was really bad. Dude ended up in the hospital. They started a GoFundMe account, and believe it or not, Gavin McGinnis was the first one to give a donation, and he gave him $1,000. So it was serious,
That's great. I think I chucked $10 into that chat, just a small amount, but
yeah, great.
I feel like when these opportunities come, I feel like whatever you can give, even if it's $1 or $5 or $10, it's all it's not everything helps, eh?
Yeah, and this is one of our pledges, that took one for the team. And I mean, if I wrote in their pledge chat, I said if there was a such thing as a pledge by blood, you'd be number one, and it's awesome because our officers were able to get the GoFundMe money and bring it to him, within a couple days of it all dropping. So he ended up with quite a bit of money, and he's recovering, and he wasn't able to take the pledge, so he's sick about that. So we got to give him pledge. He got ran over.
So the guy obviously he wasn't wearing a Proud Boy shirt then.
No, he wasn't in a Perry. No, absolutely not.
Yeah. So how did the guy target him? He just knew that he was just watching people come out of the pub.
No, he came in by himself into the fucking Antifa dude came into the bar with his phone out and started taking pictures of all of us, you know what I mean? And he was very, very agitated. You could tell he was, I don't know where he got the balls to come in and do it, but he was pissed, agitated. He thought that he definitely was standing up for the right thing and was trying to film us. It spilled out into the parking lot. And that's when our pledge, his name's Shane, took out his phone and started, recording him. Dude got in his truck, and as he drove out of the parking lot, Shane tried to get, I guess, a picture of his license plate, and the dude changed directions and hit Shane. I think he was probably going 15, 20 miles an hour. Shane ended up going up over the top of the truck and landing on his head. Dude smashed out. The cops got him later, but that happened.
That's attempted murder for sure.
Absolutely, that happened, and it was just fuck, man. And this was after a memorial for a guy that
just been killed.
Yeah, man.
And so I seen the footage. I think it was the memorial. A guy playing the guitar. People had candles and stuff, and there was like women and children, and looked like there were families and that.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, there were families, and there was no opposition, man. There, even on the outskirts, I'm sure there were spotters taking pictures and shit, because doxers, it's part of their little thing, But there was no actual like buildup of any Antifa on the outskirts of the memorial. None of that. You know what I mean? We actually parked our cars about a quarter mile away in a parking garage, and then walked in together. You know how we do. We're late. We're always late, fashionably late. Proud Boys are always fashionably late. And we walked in all together, and there was no opposition on the street. So, I hate to say it, but I give Antifa or whoever a little bit of credit for not showing up and trying to destroy the memorial.
Yeah. And then, but then you on the same token, then you get this guy who's come and fucking tried to run someone over. So it's like,
yeah, he just could not fucking believe that there were a whole bunch of Proud Boys in this fucking bar. You know what I mean? He seemed like he was shocked with it. You know what I mean? And then that it all transpired. But we got a good pledge. Dude's a good guy. And he's gonna make a fine.
Because we even had the other day we went out and we had like a Freedom Day, and it was a protest against our lockdown laws, the COVID lockdown laws. Fuck, man, I think all the boys. So say there was like 8 of us. I think everyone was like, fuck, so many people coming up and been like, oi, how do I join the club? And like, luckily we had business cards on us, so we're like, bang, bang, bang. Here you go, guys. We're just walking around, and like people are just like, oh, pulling up, coming over, and you kind of like, yo, having a beer. Fucking random people be like, oi, mate, come have a beer with us. Like, people are fucking really, how long's it been since Proud Boys have lost Facebook and all this? Like, we're not really in the mainstream media or mainstream social media anymore, but people are still like, when you're walking down the street and people coming up to you and being like, hey mate, how do I fucking join? Like,
absolutely, yeah.
I don't think I've never had anyone give me any grief. I've only had people come up to me in my shirt and be like, how do I join the club?
Yeah, when we show up to all together, like to an event like the Back to Blue, when we got there, we were fashion related, of course. When we got there, 60 strong, I mean, an applause went up for us, and that's a good feeling. Where we go, people want to find out about us, or they, it's like that dude's a Proud Boy. You know what I mean? Like, it's something, and people. When we get an applause or folks come up and they show interest, it's amazing. It's a good feeling, because you're talking to someone who actually is probably a free thinker. He has to be if he looks outside the mainstream media narrative of who and what we are. You know what I mean? Like, I did before I even joined. I already knew. Like I said, I knew the West was the best before I even got first degree. You know what I mean? So,
heck yeah. Yeah. Kev's given us a super chat. This must have been a bit while back. Dusty, the gift of diplomacy. I think that was when we were talking about how when we were asking people to pray for the Antifa guy who had OD'd or whatever had happened to him. But
I'll pray for him too. Shit, I'll say one tonight.
It's right. We gotta pray for these people, and we gotta be like, we got to keep doing it. I think we're a drinking fraternity, and I always say to people, like, you think of 80 chapters. I would say we're probably close to 100 chapters now. You think of that many. It's like 80 football teams going out on the piss every fortnight, every month, going out for beers all around the world. And how much trouble has this fraternity been in? We have not done fuck all. We haven't done anything really bad. I feel like we are. If I was to think of my local rugby team, the Broncos, one rugby team going out on the piss, right? I swear to God, every 6 months or every fucking 2 weeks, they're in the newspaper or in the news for doing something stupid, right? Now we are like 80 Broncos teams full of guys going out on the piss. It just goes to show that we're quite well behaved. We get out there, we have beers, we go to a lot of events, we go to a lot of rallies, and you know what? I'm telling you, put it in perspective. Whenever they think of the club, just be like, yo, here's 100 footy teams that go out on the piss every month. We're not getting write-ups for being drunk and fighting losers. No, we're not.
Absolutely not.
We get write-ups for going and protesting, and we get attacked and we defend ourselves. That's what happens.
Absolutely. That's it. Dusty, I hate to do this. I do not have a phone charger, and I am at like about 2%.
No worries, brother.
We might have to wrap it up, but
yeah, dude. Well, I'll fucking have you on. I'll have you on again sometime, eh?
Okay, yeah. It'd be cool if there's like a specific incident or something that I can come talk about. You know, I'm sure it's gonna happen in Portland.
When the fucking on the 26th or something, maybe we should have you in there. Keep your phone on charge because I can go live. You can be out doing this live while the fucking event's happening.
That's a good idea. It can draw a lot of people, and you know, if we do something like that, absolutely.
For sure, mate.
I'm open to that. Definitely do a live stream on there. Yeah.
That'd be fucking excellent. All right, brother. Well, God bless. Thanks for coming on, and thanks everyone for the super chats and for the lemons. I won't open the treasure chest today. We'll do that fucking another time. But anyway, God bless. Thanks heaps, mate.
God bless you, man. Proud of your boy. You hooroo.
Cheers. Proud of you.